Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Barak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching His truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh by Shema Shah, trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called Black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, a so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up related to rations, gas changing. Yeah. What the hell is this doing here? I moved this, YouTube on that bullshit. Anyway, with the playlist, I'm trying to sort things out, and then it's starting to show that error crap, and it's glitching out and being retarded and such. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripts my best ability, and say whatever God say through the Spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Kodash, Lord willing be on me. Bad news in Babylon. Let's get it.
This is big breaking news. A quote, level 3 extreme shortage has just been declared. Rationing is now being announced. Fines are being announced as well. And this is happening in multiple states. We also have another infrastructure warehouse going up in flames tonight. This time it's in Ohio. So let's get into all the details here. You guys can see this is going on in multiple states right now, and this was just announced by the city of Clearwater, Florida, right? They're saying that they have declared a modified phase 3 extreme water shortage that includes the city of Clearwater. This is from the Southwest Florida Water Management District. The order is in effect through July 1st. It says the declaration is issued due to below normal rainfall and declining regional water supply levels. Knowing your assigned watering day is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect our water resources. All customers are required to follow the restrictions below and reduce wasteful and unnecessary water use when possible. Violations may be subject to a citation without prior warning. So they can fine you, they can charge you money for this, all right? And they're implementing this in multiple states. Check this out, all right? Colorado just announced multiple restrictions in multiple different cities, all right? Durango enacts lawn watering restrictions and fines for violations. We have Denver and surrounding areas have enacted water restrictions as well too, and water rationing, all right? We have Brighton. They are also enforcing water restrictions amid ongoing Colorado drought. All right, so this is affecting Cortez. Cortez, Colorado, is implementing water restrictions. And this is Colorado, where a lot of the western water for the Colorado River is sourced. I mean, that's where it begins, right, is in Granby, Colorado. But a lot of the western states depend on the Colorado River. And they're going to have these water restrictions as well, too, all right? Lake Powell is at extremely low levels. The Grand Canyon Hotel is already suspending overnight stays amid water restrictions. All right, you can see here it says Grand Canyon currently has no water being pumped from the Colorado River to the south rim because of continuous problems with the pipeline that supplies water to the rim and businesses like hotels. All right, so expect to see more of this. You guys can see the water levels for Lake Powell are extremely low right now. So these are the different boat ramps that are available to the public on Lake Powell. And you can see only one of them is actually at a safe level to put your boat in. And that's the state line auxiliary ramp here, all right? All of these other ramps are at too low of level to safely launch your boat, all right? So the situation is getting worse and worse. And when this happens, this affects the electricity generation as well too. You guys can see here, this is the water levels for Lake Powell. All right, so if you go back a year ago, exactly a year ago to April 12th, then you guys can see the outflow, which generates electricity. This is hydroelectric power being generated as well too. The outflow was 9,555, all right? You can see here in June, peak summer outflow was 11,000, almost 12,000, 11,874. Or excuse me, the outflow was 11,405. That was the inflow. So that's normal. But take it now, a year later, this is not looking good. Okay, the outflow is 8,237. The inflow is only 5,885. Okay, so if you compare this to a year ago, this is normally the time when all of the snowpack is melting and filling up the Colorado River and filling up these reservoirs along the river. So this is normally a time when we have lots of inflow and lots of outflow. Okay, so you can see the inflow is 7,000. The inflow here is only 4,200. All right, it's been a not good 3,900 right there. Okay, so almost half of the amount of water is flowing into these reservoirs right now, and they are generating a lot less electricity as well too. Right, they're generating 20% less electricity because they're having 20% less outflow. So if this continues, this can also turn into a power grid crisis as well for these western states that depend on hydroelectric power for their electricity consumption. So it's more than just water, it's power as well too, because once the lake gets to a certain level, these hydroelectric dams do not operate properly. There's not enough pressure and flow to spin the turbines. Okay, so this is very concerning, and they're not letting they're letting the water, they're trading the water for electricity, for cheap electricity. It is a cheap way to generate electricity, but they're constantly letting water flow out of these reservoirs that we need in these drought periods. Okay, so they really should slow down the outflows to all of these major reservoirs along the Colorado River, because it eventually just ends up in the ocean. All right, so they really should contain it and keep more of it on land and keep more of it in these reservoirs, even if it means creating less electricity. There's other alternatives for that. There's nuclear. There's
All right. Anyway, bad news in Babylon. When they saying, I guess this lack of water, I want to say it's a drought, but they can't use it for crops. They're trying to use this water for crops, and they're not using it, or whatever the hell he was saying. I was kind of sort of not paying attention. And I was, but I wasn't. I don't know why, but you hear from whatever you heard from coming out of his mouth, then that's what's gonna be going. It's gonna be problems. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Let me get to this. Saying that people are not gonna get this water, especially for crops. Let me get something on that. No. Come on, dang it. What the hell is going on? Goodness gracious, this phone sucks, man. It's another phone I'm looking up. Alright, let me look it up on this phone. I don't know why I'm looking up on that phone. Look it up on this one. Fountains. Let me see. Second Ezra chapter 24. Where you see is when they really highlight it, it's highlighted. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand still in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So you ain't gonna get no water out of your faucets, because they're gonna shut that shit off. Yep. You're gonna have to ration that water. But hey, when it comes to the elect of Israel, they gonna be straight. I'm not gonna say I'm of that number, but I hope and pray to be. Hell no, I don't want to slip up by saying, oh yeah, well I'm gonna be okay. I'm like, how the hell I know? I don't know. I just hope and pray I do be okay. But let me get another one. Cause water is a basic necessity for all life. But when it comes to Esau, that nigga try to hog that shit. Joint, goddamn, I'm gonna say Jewing, but just being a nigger. Amalek, Esau being a damn nigger, hogging up all the resources, keeping himself and then charge your ass for it. Damn niggers. Ecclesiastes chapter 29, verse 21. The chief thing for life is water, as you can see. I'm gonna highlight that. Man, I need to get my internet back, man. I gotta get back on my computer. Get tired of doing this phone thing. But anyway, it's just not the same. The chief thing for life is water and bread. and clothing and house to cover shade. But the point is, I'm trying to get to that water because that's the chief thing. And a lot of living organisms rely on water to stay alive. Let's get to this next video. If you want to watch the rest of it, you see the title there and you see the channel. Captain talks slow a lot. He like, oh my goodness, guys. Massive, massive. Next video.
Old Spice gentleman. Guess I've always been a gentleman.
Get the fuck out
Millions
of
of Americans are literally freaking out that the federal government is now telling us we have to use E15 gasoline for our cars, when in reality, that's not what the EPA has said. But many people are panicking, thinking that their car cannot function, will not run, and will get less gas mileage by putting E15 into the tanks. Today, I want to explain what's going on because we only have a couple weeks left. Starting on May 1st, the EPA has allowed the sale of E15 gasoline. That is the big difference. Look at this right here. It says EPA approves sale of higher ethanol fuel to try to lower gas prices. Now, in a time where people are saving money, don't want to spend.
Yeah, the people car gonna be fucked up. I gotta remind myself I need to go somewhere to the auto parts store and get some daggone some fuel injected cleaner or something. I don't know. I gotta try to find something.
And struggling to pay for their rent, pay for their car payment, pay for utilities, and everything in between.
Shit, hopefully sooner or later we won't have to worry about driving. Once they lock this bitch down, I don't know. It's probably gonna be till summertime. They might start really doing something. I don't know.
Of course, we don't want to spend more on gasoline than we have to. But at the same time, people are spending money where they see fit. If you don't know what I mean, go and watch the latest video that I did over on my Snyder Reacts YouTube channel. I did a video just yesterday talking about how Coachella 2026 and their pricing is out of control. Go and watch that video. I'll link to that down in the description box below. But this is why people are so concerned. Look at this. The federal government just confirmed that they are about to start diluting your gasoline this May. So basically, the EPA just announced that starting on May the 1st, gas stations across the country can sell E15 fuel nationwide. If you're somebody that doesn't know what E15 fuel is, it's gasoline that's cut with 15% ethanol instead of just the usual 10. And you literally cannot make this up right now.
Shit, and you know what too? We probably been getting E15 or burning E15 before this shit was going on. Probably for years. We probably burning E25, E30. E40. Shit, E40. I can't do that nigga voice. Shove it. I can't even, I can't do it. Anyway, yeah. Hell, we were burning E40, man. I'm like, God dang. Now you got E85, but then you know damn well these cars ain't. If it ain't built for that shit, it ain't gonna work, bro. But anyway.
Because they are calling it fortifying the domestic fuel supply.
And we kind of, you know what? There was a time that cars, people was burning ethanol of that level, but Esau didn't want. That was like back in the 1930s or 40s, I think, when people were like doing all the, they were back doing the prohibition shit, and people were putting ethanol in their cars, burning corn, whatever the fuck it was in their vehicles. But yeah, Esau wasn't having that shit. Oh, hell no. Especially the Rockefellers. They wasn't having that shit. What's his name? David Rockefeller. He had all the oil. Yeah, they wasn't having that shit. But now they got control over it to some degree.
Here's what's interesting. Any TikTok video that I watch, many of the YouTube videos I watch, everyone says, oh, they're diluting our gasoline. Meaning that the EPA is allowing...
Your gasoline. It ain't your gasoline. It's theirs.
For these companies to come in and dilute the 87, the 89, and the 91. No, that's not the case. I want to show you something.
What?
So this right here, this is a fuel station that has the 91. This is your premium. They have the 89, which is your mid-grade. They have your 87, which is your regular or unleaded. They also have E.
Oh, wait, man. These niggas got E15 and E30. Nigga, what?
15, which means it's up to 15% ethanol in the gasoline. And then they also have E30.
That's for those pumps. This is specialized. What, the new gas stations? No, the gas station all gas stations don't have this setup. So I don't know what he's trying to say. All gas stations ain't gonna have this setup. So I'm guessing they saying they all have to have this type of setup? Nigga, please. They ain't gonna have that type of setup.
Again, completely different. Most cars before 2001 cannot run E15. Okay, they just can't run it. Now, I want to show you something. Many people are concerned This is going to lead to the entire nation selling E15. Right now, a small percentage of fuel stations around the United States, I believe it's like 3% or something like that. It's like 4,000 fuel stations offer E15. So in some cities, you will not even find a station that sells it. Now, I want to show you something though, because the EPA is allowing this sale to go through. You can sell E15 after May 1st. Previously, in the summer months, you couldn't sell E15 gasoline because it burns off much quicker. So they didn't want it. It burns off much faster in the warmer months. As a result, they pushed against this. That's why they're bringing it back, because it's going to help lower fuel costs. Well, it doesn't.
Well, shit, it ain't doing a damn thing to fuel costs. It's lowering it. It's right now, gas is up, and then it dropped down. It fluctuates.
Lower costs. Here's what it actually does, and this is where most people are getting it wrong. E15, by approving and having a waiver that opens the door to sell E15 throughout May, or from May 1st to May 21st, what this allows is people that are normally putting 87 into their gas tank, they can put E15. They can do it because it's available, if it's available in their city. Well, here's the issue, and this is what a lot of people have been saying. It has less gas mileage. Okay, so you're not going to be able to travel as far under E15. That's true. You will not be able to.
See, I paused video at 4 minutes 41 seconds. All praise Yahweh Shemel Shah, the body Yahweh Shemel Shah. Yeah, I did a video like last week or sometime earlier this week. I can't remember. Well, actually, it'd be last week 'cause it's Sunday now, a whole nother week. But about what is it, the E30? What they were talking about? I think it was on his channel. He did a video. No, I don't know. But anyway, they were showing like people that was getting low ass miles. Man, he'll just driving in his neighborhood, and he didn't even drive a mile. And this shit, it was already 5 miles. 5 miles. I think 5 gallons. I don't know. I think it been like he burned like already 5 gallons, and he didn't even travel a mile or something like that. I don't know. But I can tell you, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, back to the video. I mean, that was like what? This nigga only traveled less than a mile, and he burned 5 gallons. This nigga ain't driving no damn twin turbo V8 V12 race engine or anything like that. It's got like 2,000 or maybe 4,000 horses. No. Hell, he won't be able to burn. Yeah, he won't be able to burn no regular gas with that shit anyway. He gonna have to use racing fuel. Anyway, a higher octane. Like, how much a higher octane race fuel? Like 100 something? Anyway. That shit like got like a sweet smell to it.
The other thing is it's not as good on your car's system, on the engine, on the injectors, on the evap system. There's so many issues with E15 for vehicles, which you may have to go and fix your car a little bit sooner. But for some, they would rather have the trade-off of being able to afford gasoline today, and there'll be maintenance in the future, as opposed to paying high prices today and seeing less maintenance in the future, because they're worried about now. How can they afford things now? Okay. Well, here's the issue, okay? And this is why this is turning into a problem. People are thinking that these gas stations are going to go in and allow 15% ethanol in all gas blends. That's not the case, okay? That is not the case. And that's where most people are getting it wrong, and they're getting fed misinformation. I want you to have the right information so you can make the call. There are many flex fuel vehicles that you can put in different types of fuel, and they still work, hence the name flex fuel. But at the same time, the 91 is going to be better, 89 is going to be better, or a little bit less than that, 87 a little bit less than that, and then obviously you got the E15, okay? Or the 85, whatever you want to call it. Now, this is...
Switch to Tasty Trade and earn up to $3,000 in commission rebates.
With the latest Galaxy from Verizon, you can swipe a whole new look.
This is the reason why I'm showing it to you today. It says right here, EPA waiver opens door for year-round E15 sales. People want E15 all year round, whether it's for farm vehicles and equipment, whether it's for cars, whether it's for small engines like lawnmowers and four-wheelers and things like that, okay? But look at this. Just recently, Illinois' Governor, J.B. Pritzker, he's calling for year-round E15 gasoline in a letter to Congress. I want to read a little bit to you. It says right here, Governor J.B. Pritzker is calling...
All right, I'm going to stop right there. I'll get to another video. If you want to watch the rest of it, they got the title of it. Did I get a text message? All right. If there's a title of it, they go to channel. Let's move on to the next one.
First, the crippling economic news. Inflation surged to its highest levels in the United States in 2 years because of the global energy crisis created by the war with Iran. March saw a record 25% jump in gas
Nigga, shit was going up before that shit popping off.
prices for U.S. consumers, hovering near $4 a gallon.
Don't forget about the tariffs.
You wanted to go on a European vacation this summer. Now there's this to worry about. Airports there are bracing for a jet fuel shortage if oil can't pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Over in Ireland, the Irish government had to call in the army today to quell protests over fuel shortages caused by the war with Iran. It is a full-scale global economic crisis that might actually be even worse than those headlines and worse than we think, because the prices of oil that we track don't fully capture the full scale of this disruption.
And as you can see, they're starting to admit what's going on here because there's no hiding it. A full-blown global economic crisis, and that things are worse than people realize.
Yeah, all this shit, hey, all roads leading to chip implant, the mark of the beast.
You even have the IMF coming out and warning on top of that, that the supply chain thing is going to be a major issue. They're raising inflation. All this is going to tie into worsen food insecurity is what they're warning about. And when it comes to specific things out there, like iron ore, if you have a pullback in iron ore and the production, it affects many industries, more than what the average person realizes. And all of these things are going into motion. So regardless, if things get back on track at some point, there's going to be a huge gap, they're saying here, because production takes time.
Now, I got some videos on this. I got bro right here with the Saints of Jersey 2 guy. And I've been seeing this, and I'm just scratching my head like, Trump orders blockage of Strait of Hormuz? Wait a minute, not too long he wanted it open. Now he want to block it? Make up your mind, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with Esau? This nigga just losing it. Man, I mean, damn, really? You gonna block it now? They have it open, but now they didn't want to block it. Why these motherfuckers damn, they really don't want nobody to like America. Shit. Oh, speaking of that, it goes right here, the title. And I was just thinking, damn, fools rush in. There's no more wisdom in teaming. Was it GMS Chicago on air live too? Yeah, there's no wisdom in this nigga. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? You wanted it open, now you want it closed now? Oh my goodness, back to the video.
All these things.
What a retard.
Take time. It's not going to be like a snap of a finger. Everything will be back to normal.
People that supporting this nigga Trump be like, yeah, we need to open up the straits. Open up the straits. Now Trump says, close it up. We gonna block it. Now the people are like, yeah, close it up now. Block it. Yay, Trump. Oh, USA, you's okay.
All this disruption.
These motherfuckers stupid.
Already started something that they say is starting to spiral out of control. So the IMF now, the latest, to warn about this, about supply shock. They go over items, polyesters, all these other things, textile items that are going to go through the roof here in the coming weeks ahead. So I expect it to be drug out further than that. What we're seeing here now is a confirmation of exactly what we suspected, that they're using this whole thing for a massive global reset, as Trump come out and even said himself. So everything's in motion here to send it in that direction. I will say this, though. To get the reset that they want, a new world order that's truly multipolar and where everyone is an equal under a banner.
And they have to have the chip implant, the RFID microchip implant. The one that goes in your right hand or in your left hand or in your feet or your booty cheeks or your titty. Big titty, small titty. And definitely one going in your brain. Come on, bro. Hey, man. You can't see what's going on? If you can't see it, then shit, something wrong with your ass.
The U.S. has to be knocked.
It's the end times, baby. You better get with and get with y'all by Shemal Shah now before it's too late.
From its purpose.
Repent.
It has to be knocked from it. And some event, I feel, is designed in the offing to do just that. We've got huge things coming. I hope you guys are ready. Join me for the live streams where I talk about this.
This is how I move forward with Purdue Global. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be.
I've been telling you guys that food insecurity in the United States is greater than many might realize. And in my state here, in Massachusetts in particular, even though we have a lot of millionaires that live in the state, we have a large wealth disparity in this state. And you can see that now through this. Across the street from a Lamborghini dealership, a mass food pantry is busier than ever. See, this is what I was saying about the wealth disparity, how you have a food pantry just right across the street from a Lamborghini dealership. So there's a lot of money that comes into Massachusetts, but what a lot of people don't realize is like our wealth disparity here is very great. It's big, it's a problem. So
Look, don't worry, you won't be the only one going through it. Hell, all these, well, shit, all these states going through it. There you go, right there. Ain't that some shit?
this is the food pantry. It's Sudbury Community Food Pantry on Boston Post Road. I've actually driven past this before. Now thinking about it, Sudbury is more of one of the more wealthier towns in Massachusetts, one of the most wealthiest ones. In one of the highest earning towns in one of the nation's wealthiest states, a food pantry across the street from a string of luxury car dealerships is busier than ever. Last year, more than 1,000 families turned to the Sudbury Community Food Pantry for help putting food on the table. Just across the street, showrooms gleam with Lamborghinis, Bentleys, and Land Rovers. A reminder that crossing the street here means crossing into another world. Even the most affluent corners of Massachusetts, some residents lack the money to buy enough food. Although far more prevalent in other communities, the problem spares no town. Yet available data often fails to fully capture its scale at the local level in wealthier cities and towns. This is the part I think a lot of people are not aware of. People think that just because a town is wealthy, that everyone that lives in that town is wealthy, and that's not always the case. Despite ranking among the nation's highest earning states, Massachusetts is also one of the most expensive. As the cost of living continues to climb, food pantries in cities and towns across the state report record demand. There is incredible surprise on people's faces when they hear that anyone in Newton needs food. That's coming from Rose. She's the executive director of the Center Street Food Pantry, one of the 2 food pantries in a Boston suburb where the median home value is about $1.3 million, and that's not an exaggeration. So let me explain to you what's happening here. I lived in Newton when I first moved here. I lived in Newton for a short time. I was renting. So in these wealthy towns, there's also still apartments. So not everybody that lives there is rich. There's also people that live there that are not, that are just renting. There have been families that have been known to rent an apartment in places like Newton and Sudbury so that their kids can attend those schools. Because Newton and Sudbury, they have some of the best schools, right? So that's one of the ways to get your kids into those schools and not having to own a home. There are many people who wouldn't consider that people are in need, who would think Newton is so affluent. How could anyone in Newton possibly need food? So I want to show you something. At the Sudbury Food Pantry, surge hit as pandemic eased. So if we look at the dates, the surge came after the pandemic. Here's 2020, over 3,600 people going to the food pantry. 2021, 2022, 2023. You see how it continues to increase? 2024, 2025. So 2023 and 2025.
Now, 2022 was like a big, much bigger increase. I think, yeah, people start losing their jobs. They start firing people. Yeah, that was, and 2023, that was like a great firing going on.
When
the great layoffs and shit still going.
People were going to those food pantries. Everybody see that? So one thing we got to remember.
And oh yeah, what about all the people that's coming from other parts of the world? Like, you know, they let the doors wide open for everybody to come into America. And a lot of them coming to those food banks too. Yeah.
Is that during the pandemic, Massachusetts was one of the states that was locked down. And so during that time, people weren't paying for certain things that they had to pay for before. So people had more money to freely spend on like food. But as you notice, as we were coming out of that, you see how the increase starts to, and the cost of food has also increased. Hunger does hide in plain sight. This is another one. This city has tremendous wealth. The median home value in Newton is more than twice that of the state as a whole. The median household income is $190,000 compared to the state median of $104,000. However, those figures obscure other realities. In a city of 91,000, an estimated 4,000 Newton residents live in poverty. This is true. It's less than half the rate of the state, but no solace to the thousands who struggle to get by. About 4,000 residents also receive grocery assistance from SNAP. So when people, say that we need to not complain about our country and how about you go live over there in those other countries in the Middle East and see how you like it. What you have to remember is that we do have food insecurity here in the United States.
New Dunkin' Zero. With 0 sugar and 20 calories. New Dunkin' Zero. 0 sugar energy.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is a job well done. But
we don't have some of these programs that other countries have. And even when we talk about free breakfast and free lunch for, kids that qualify for that and things like that, we do have to remember that in some of these other countries, like France, for example, their idea of a school lunch is very different than our idea of a school lunch. They actually give the kids real food, not those little square pizzas. If you look at it here, here's another one. Everyone needs to pay attention to what's going on. Rising prices and SNAP cuts deepen Massachusetts' hunger crisis. This is the new study that just came out. So as Donald Trump is talking about Greenland and Cuba and what all these other countries are doing, this is being glossed over. He's not telling you how bad we're doing here.
Nope. Let me get a scripture. And I'll continue on with the video. I add some more videos in, so hopefully I got enough time. It's 31 minutes. I'll probably have enough to squeeze in another video. Oh, man. What did I supposed to look for? Oh, yeah. Hagar chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. I just want to read that because she's talking about rising prices.
It's being glossed over.
Yeah, rising prices and SNAP cut deepens Massachusetts hunger crisis. New study find. Yeah.
He's not telling you how bad we're doing here. So I want to show
you.
Yeah,
you're not doing bad. You're winning. They're saying we're winning so much that we're gonna be winners. You niggas are losers here in America, boy. Big time losers with a big ass L on your head. You probably will put an L on your chest too, like you're super loser. Super loser shit.
Study here. Again, the share of Massachusetts families struggling to put food on the table increased again in 2025 and now has more than doubled from the rate before COVID. About 40% of Massachusetts households are food insecure, meaning they cannot afford enough food or are uncertain where their next meal is going to come from. In 2019, the first year the two organizations conducted the study, 19% of Massachusetts households qualified as food insecure. The rate jumped to 30% in the first year of the pandemic and has ticked higher each year as the cost of living rises. This study found that 37% of households in Massachusetts were food insecure.
I ain't gonna play no more of this, but these the Lord's plagues, man. See, how about Shemal Shah? Lord laying the smack of down on your ass on these proud ass Babylonians, and it's gonna be all over the world. Let me get shade food insecurity. Ain't gonna be leading to famine. What the hell am I doing? I don't even know. That's why I'm trying to find the search thing. Oh my goodness, what the hell is this shit doing? Stop it, nigga. Man, it's this shit, everything's so laggy. Alright, I'll just try to find. Let me just go ahead and read this. Let me see. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I had another scripture and it flew out of my mind. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Wait a minute now, bro. What the hell you doing? Trying to line this stuff up. Alright. What it says is Egypt as before. But yeah, this video here is mainly about America. But it will be worldwide though. But here in America, yeah, that's what it's all about. And all them videos about America. But anyway, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Talking about America, Babylon the Great. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh shall bring upon it. Let me see. What else we got? We got famine of, let me type that in. Famine of bread. In the land of the dead, there'll be famine of bread. Come on, dang it. Ain't it? Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. And then, hey, if it's not famine in your area, like there's plenty of food, guess what? You won't be able to afford it. Yep. And a lot of people can't afford the food. So then people just resort to stealing it. Yep. And if they can't do any of that, steal it or buy it, they're gonna end up looking at the baby as food. Or the dog or the cat or the goldfish or either their self. They might eat part of their self as food. Boy, that's a hell of a demon to be on you when you eating your finger and shit. Shit. Yeah. And just cannibalism, period. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. And I will increase the famine upon you and break your staff of bread. So the Lord gonna break the support of the bread, the staff of the bread, from the logistics, the production, the growing process, the process of butchering animals and serving up as meat, and the people that was processing it, where the hell they at? And mainly they're Israelites, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. They got deported or locked up in a detention center. And shit. Yeah. No, they not even working. They on the run trying to get away from ICE. Yeah. And nobody ain't picking no fruits and vegetables. Because they on the run from ICE. Hey, man, famine gonna hit y'all motherfuckers like, bow. I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna just say it like that. Like, bow. Let's get to the next video. Like, bow. Where is the next one? Yeah, let's see. Secretly moving into cars. People living in their cars.
So what does affordable housing look like in the U.S.? It's pretty much everybody's vehicles now. That's the growing trend. People are moving into their cars because they can't afford the rent, and they realize that it's an upward battle that they're not able to fight.
I've been living in my car with my 2 cats for several months, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that situation, but I don't really know what I can do. If the average price of an apartment is around $1,600 and you need to make 3 times the rent in order to be approved for an apartment, you have to make $4,800 a month, or at least $30 an hour. That's not happening right now. So I don't really know how I can get an apartment unless I can find a really well-paying job. I've been working a seasonal job that definitely doesn't pay $30 an hour, with hopes that I could save up enough money and then move to a city I'd like to live in and find a landlord that might take pity on my soul and sign me to a lease even if I don't make the exact amount of income. But I just don't even know if that will actually be possible. I have a friend that can give me a serving job in California, but that's not guaranteed income, and everything I've tried to research says that servers have to have several months worth of income or bank deposits stacked up before they can consider being approved for an apartment. So I don't really know what to do, because California is also a lot harder to overnight park. So I don't even know if I can go down there and live in my car and work to build up income in order to be approved for an apartment. I don't really have a co-signer. I don't really know what I can do. So if anybody has advice, please let me know, because I'd like to give my little kitty cats homes.
I've been homeless for the last 7 months and trying to hide it. And I realized how many people are in the same shitty position that I'm in. So I'm gonna tell you how I've been surviving it. I started this morning at 6 o'clock. I woke up at a rest stop where I slept in my car.
And, you know, I haven't played this woman's videos in a minute, but it just dawned on me that I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of Edomites being shown on his video, complaining about how life sucks and yeah, goddamn Esau, you Edomites are feeling it. What Jake was feeling it. Now y'all feeling it. All because of your own people fucking you over, taking up the wealth. But it's also ultimately the payback for what y'all doing to the Israelites. Yeah.
Thank God it didn't rain last night.
And let's not get it twisted. So many people might be Israelites themselves. They might just look like heathens. But anyway.
I got
up, I drove to Planet Fitness. I fixed my hair, I brushed my teeth. I halfway charged my portable batteries so that I can run my cooler that pretty much like lives in my car all the time. People always ask me about those batteries. There's a lot more people than I realize that are in the same position or that are just on the road or on the go or whatever and need resources. Because we're humans, we're needy, right? So now I'm at the gas station. I figured out that truck stops and gate gas stations have microwaves. So I'm gonna heat some food up in this gas station and probably change my shirt. Later on, I do have a hotel reservation. Hopefully that will work out. I have mast cell activation and chemical sensitivity. So usually hotels don't work out for me, but I thought it's a Hilton.
Oh man, get the fuck out of here. Those soft ass Americans.
It's fragranced. I thought I would give it a shot. Could really use a place to like stretch out and lay down, charge all my stuff, get things out of my car, unpack so I can see what's in here because it's so crowded and cramped that like I can't even see what I have in here. So that's today. This is 7 months of being homeless and staying alive.
7 months in your car. Man. Ah, boy, I'll be stiff as hell living in this shit.
I find an Airbnb or a place to live that isn't making me sick.
My name is Alexis and I live in this minivan. Today I'm finally going to give you a tour of the inside. This is Midnight Rain. She's a 2008 Toyota Sienna. And this is my home. I've had her for just a couple of months now. So just to give you an idea of how I put all of this together, this is a camping cot with an 8-inch memory foam mattress on top of it. This is a toy box I got on Amazon and it houses all of my clothes. And Toby usually sleeps up
No, she came prepared for all this stuff. What is it, like a doll?
here. I have his water bowl here so he can reach it. This curtain was also an Amazon find. It was $30.
Yeah, she got that shit decked out for living. And she was ready for it. But shit, she ain't gonna be ready for it when they, well, they been did this shit last year by making this shit illegal to live in your car. Boy, they make it, hey, man. They making it hard for you people. Hey, they're gonna try to make it easy by giving you the chip implant. So you won't no longer have to live in your car no more. Now you can live in a smart box. You can live in a smart box. We'll have a camera watching your ass. Wherever you go, you do. But then, shit, you got a microchip inside your ass, so hell. Shit. Anyway.
And it fits so perfectly in here. In this corner over here, I have this, which is where I normally sit my tablet so that I can watch TV. And then I have some journals and books in this corner. I have 4 of these purple tubs stacked up for storage. I got each of these for $5 at Walmart. They are full of random things, like this one has sweaters in it, and I think this one has some bathroom stuff in it. I have a cooler here, but the only thing in it right now is bananas, and then the trusty V8 Energy that I am addicted to. This is Toby, the love of my life. On the back of the driver's seat, I have an organizer with a lot of stuff that I use all the time, like scissors. There's some bug spray here. This is the dog's bowl and the dog's leash. I have some like poop bags down here. Under the seat here, I have a first aid kit. Please don't mind the rug. I don't know what. These are my own. I just like it because I love it.
I've lived in my car for about 9 months now, and here are 3 things that I think are non-negotiable.
See all these Edomite women. the white woman. Damn. Where the sisters at? Where the blacks? Where the Latinos? Where the Native Indians? Shit. They already got, speckled birds too. I ain't even spotted them yet. But, damn, there should be some videos about, of Israelite women out there. Yeah, well, this is my car, and blah, blah, blah. I'm living in my car, and anyway. Shit.
If you're planning on moving into your...
Showing y'all world, you women's world is collapsing because America was really built for the women. Especially y'all women getting y'all way and shit. Now, this shit is falling. It's failing on your ass. Now it's time for the great humbling experience. They kick you right in your goddamn ass. Heck yeah. I mean, how about Shemal Shah bringing the pain to you hoes?
First one is tinted windows. I don't think it's a good idea to move into your car unless you have tinted windows.
Yeah, so you want me, they gonna be watching you and looking at through your car and shit while you sleeping. They be like, he's a bunch of hey man, yeah, for you women, y'all gonna be in some trouble. Sorry, let me start running my mouth.
Do understand that tinted windows can be very expensive, but I beg you to please find a way to pay for them because it's just not safe without them. Number 2 is a gym membership.
Yeah, your ass ain't gonna be safe regardless. Shit. You out there on your own, sitting sleeping in your damn car. Yeah, nigga, you ain't gonna be safe regardless. You a woman. Shit.
This is where you will shower. This is where you will brush your teeth sometimes, where you will work out for the day. This will make all the difference in your happiness, please get a gym membership. Preferably a gym that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. When I'm traveling, I go for a Planet Fitness membership. Not all of them are open 24/7, but some of them are, and a Planet Fitness membership is only $25 a month. And when I'm not traveling, I just use a local gym. If there is not any gyms open 24/7, any gym will work, although 24/7 is preferred. And number 3 is window covers. Please get window covers. This is also another safety thing. You don't want anyone to be able to see in your car. You don't want anyone to know that you live in your car.
A stranger just came over to me to check that I was okay in the car park, and now I can't stop crying. Because it's like, you just forget that you're actually human, you know?
And you know, there's nothing but Edomite women on this bitch. Let me skip her ass. Who is this? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, big chunky looking one.
First order of business is to warm this car up before I get all snug as a
A
bug
big red faced chunky looking one.
in my bed. So right now I have the car running with the heater going, and I'll do that for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I put my privacy curtains up on my front windows. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can see up close, but basically they have little clips that clip in here, and then I tie up here in the middle. And here's what...
Yep. There's another one.
Pajamas. Now we're gonna brush my teeth. I would normally brush my teeth in there, but I didn't want to use the gas station water. Actually, where's my toothbrush? Okay, I found it.
Shit. Where did you find your toothbrush? On the floor? Shit.
Home lots. And then they have extorted the long-term citizens, especially the senior citizens, in the mobile homes they can still afford in the mobile home units. It's been heartbreaking to recognize that even what used to be, so first of all, I grew up in a trailer park, okay? I grew up in a trailer park, and I was poor. And poor people could afford to live there back then. That's the only place poor people could afford to live, okay?
And now you can't hardly live in a trailer. Shit.
And knowing now that private equity has got their hooks into RV parks.
Oh yeah. They've been. Yeah, I did videos in the past. How they been buying up land, and once they buy that land up, all those trailers, they got to goddamn get the hell on out of there. They either got to move that trailer if you bought that trailer. That's the worst thing. You bought a trailer, and now the land has been sold. Now you got to move that trailer somewhere else. And some people can't afford to move that trailer. And sometimes that trailer might not be able to move because it might break in half. It's been sitting there for so long, probably the frame rusted. I don't know. Hell. Yep. It's getting bad out here.
And
Seek Yahweh Shema Shah for you Israelites, you so-called Blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds.
mobile home parks have made it that even an unrealizable dream for the American middle class, to take mobile homes out of reach of the working class of America. That's what's happening in real time right now. It is horrifying. And there's not a good way to do this. There's no good way to fix this except to get in there and let them all bankrupt themselves, not bail them out, and rebuild. We have to demand more. We have to.
Oh shit, this bitch need to be destroyed. There's another white woman.
Guys, and it seems like they're fixing up the
Appear to look like one.
car, so I don't think he's living there. And I thought, oh, okay. So I disregarded it. On Friday night, I was getting home really late, and I passed by his car, and I saw that he was in there, so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna check on him. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather check on him and be wrong than not at all. So I parked my car, walked over, and introduced myself. And I didn't want to bring up the situation because it was so obvious that it
Oh, okay. So he's saying there's a man that's living in a car, but not Becky Sue.
didn't need to be brought up. I said, hi, I'm Mariah. I live in the area. How are you? What's your name? And he said, I just got some groceries. I have this extra box of crackers if you want this. And he was like, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And then I said, I'm going to make myself a meal really quick. Would you want some? I can bring it out to you. And he was like, yeah, that's amazing. I'm about to work a graveyard shift, so I have to leave soon. And I said, okay, well, I'll be really quick. And so I went, made the meal super quick and brought it out to him. I brought him like snacks, like apples, macro bars, other things that I had around.
Man, I wish she daggone made me some food. Shit. That'd be like, goddamn, an Edomite woman come to help you. Shit, give me some food, man. I know damn well that would never happen in my fucking life.
You can see in the previous video that he said he leaves his dog in the car. He has a pretty big sized dog. I think it's a Doberman. She's so beautiful. He says he can't bring her to work, so he leaves her in the car the whole night while he works his graveyard shift.
She about to cook, man. Sometimes these Edomite women ain't cook for shit anyway. I said, notice these are not crackheads and junkies. These are regular working people. That's what it says in that comment. Yeah, they're no crackheads. It's regular working people living in their cars. Hey, this is how America is. If you want to watch the rest of the video, they go to the title of the video. They go her channel. What's the name? The Homestead Journey. Let's get back to Savvy Sayed.
Granger knows that if you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right,
So you guys know these data centers, they've been popping up across the country. And when they do so, they're requiring a lot of land for whatever reason. Well, now there are data centers that are appearing in Kentucky. Now, this is Thomas Massey's home state. This project is replacing people, meaning that they are going to lose their homes so that these data centers can be built there. This is wild. Shout out to More Perfect Union for sharing this video. Working class Kentucky residents are being forced to leave their mobile home park. So this is a trailer park, and they're pushing them out. Listen to this.
Good evening. I'm Larry Smith.
And I'm Megan Mannering. Thanks for joining us. Well, for months, we've been following through on a proposed data center in Mason County. 3 weeks ago, we told you about a mother and daughter rejecting a multi-million-dollar offer to give up their land for development.
Now, as LES 18's Drew Ammon reports, residents at a mobile home park tell us they have 3 months to leave Meadowland Village.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm about to say. And we're just talking about this in the last video. How they buying up mobile homes, parks, buying up the land, and now them people got to get the fuck out of Dodge. Heck yeah. Especially if you own that trailer. That big ass trailer, hell. It ain't the type of trailer you can hook up to a pickup truck and haul that shit. You gotta put a semi on that sucker or something that can haul that thing. Heck yeah. Yeah.
Quiet, man, quiet. Oh, yeah, no better place to live than out here, man.
Pastor Greg Jones loves this home that he bought 7 years ago. Now, along with everyone else living in Meadowland Village, he's being forced to move.
That's what makes it very difficult, is realizing you come home one day and realize...
And he's a pastor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he ain't been telling his congregation the times we living in is it's gonna be like this. Yeah, I know he ain't telling his congregation that, hey, we in the end times. I'm telling he ain't telling them about the mark of the beast or telling them to repent. He's just telling them to eat shrimp, crab, lobster. Jesus Christ, repent for our sins. And you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Shit, you can commit adultery, have gay sex, and all that other shit. God loves you. Jesus Christ loves you. You all. And salvation for the heathens. Yeah, salvation for Esau in them. Well, he won't say Esau. He say salvation for white man. Don't pay no attention to those crazy Hebrew Israelite niggas. They Satan. Yeah, fuck you. You Satan, nigga.
You gotta move all this.
At the same time, a Fortune 50 company has submitted a proposal to build a data center on 2,000 plus acres of farmland beside a residential area in Maysville.
Damn.
So these people were here first. The residents were here first. And some people may look at it and they may say, well, it's a trailer park, no biggie. That is someone's home. And I've been telling you guys about these data centers because more and more they keep appearing. And of all the places to go to, they decide to move right next door to this trailer park.
Before I go any further, let me go ahead and get the scripture before I forget, because I keep thinking, I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget. I know I'm going to forget. Damn, we're already 1 hour in. Oh, well. Hopefully I'll be able to wash my dishes, because I sure need to after I do this video. Man, I'm sleepy. Where I'm at? Darn, what am I supposed to be looking up? Oh, now I forgot. Now I forgot. Oh, no, I haven't. I got it now. See, my memory is so jacked up. We need new bodies, man. Need new brain, man. We need your help about your mouth shot, man. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Ain't that many polluted up here. Yeah, here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. Micah chapter 2, verse 9. Let me highlight it. I'm going to highlight that, blocking it. The women of my people have you cast out of their pleasant houses, and men too, but anyway, from their children have you taken away my glory forever. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is not polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. For Pastor, whatever his name is, he should know that this is not your rest. No matter where you living in a trailer or in a mansion, this is not your rest, bruh. No, this is captivity. This is captivity. What else do I look for? Oh, yeah. We gotta suffer. You know, and shit. Yeah. And I'm surprised he a pastor. He ain't living in no a house, you know, a big old mansion with a big old yard. It must be a small ass church. I don't know. It must not be much population in there that bring in the dough, but for him there, but he might not be that type of pastor. He might just be living, living in like an average dude. Well, I don't say average, but just whatever. Yeah, he just looking for to have a roof over your head and some water, some food, shelter. Yeah, you need to seek Yahweh Shem Shah. Well, Micah chapter 2, verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light, they press because it is in the power of the hand. Yeah, they can plan this shit out on these people. Now is a big surprise. And they cover fields and take them by violence in houses and they just taking us people houses. It ain't got to be by violence. They can do it just legal paperwork, buying shit. And, oh no, the mayor or the governor, whoever it is who runs the city or the town, they like, hey, money, money, money. Data centers coming in. Let's get these motherfucking people off this land. They bring that data center in, and they get some money too. They get a nice fat check. Yeah, when they're willing to get a nice fat check and ruin so many people's lives. Goodness gracious, how fucked up that is. Anyway, and take them away so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Yep. But that's fucked up how these greedy motherfuckers, they're willing to destroy so many people's lives just for the sake of them getting a fucking dollar.
Right next door to this trailer park. And then they like to expand. So then it's like, well, we need that land too. So you guys got to go. Or you're going to interfere with the data center in this area.
Hell, if they had a data center right next to that land, they didn't need to get that land. Those people be all fucked up anyway. From all the noise pollution, air pollution. Their electricity probably gets shut down. The water may be fucked up. And they right next to this shit. Yeah. They'll probably end up having to move. Either they'll probably set the damn data center on fire.
So you guys have to go.
And I'm surprised these people ain't even doing shit about that yet. Damn, they should be run. I ain't giving out no advice. I'm not advocating violence. But I'm surprised they ain't ran a damn dump truck or semi or bulldozer into those fuckers in those data centers. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they probably will eventually. And them data centers are fucking up. They can't get all the resources needed to run that shit, and plus electricity can run it. See, these niggas is going crazy when it comes to building up data centers. There's some hiccups.
They were there first. This is happening right in Kentucky.
Just days ago, residents in this mobile home park received this letter from their landlord on behalf of DPD Property Management, saying the park is under contract with a potential buyer, with the project developer offering each resident $20,000 to cover moving expenses. However,
pause. $20,000.
Those expenses must be approved.
The letters.
20.
Oh, but they got to be approved. So what's the approval? They got to go through some hoops and hurdles.
$1,000. Let's go back.
Offering each resident $20,000 to cover moving expenses.
Okay, $20,000 doesn't give you a new home.
Well, $20,000 can move that trailer somewhere else to another land that you don't own, another trailer park maybe. Anyway.
Expenses, okay, that'll pay for like a U-Haul truck, etc. But nowadays, $20,000 doesn't give you a new home. They probably owned, if they've lived there long enough in that mobile park, some of them probably already owned that mobile home.
Yeah.
So it may not look like much.
That's when they're gonna have to use that $20,000 to move that mobile home, but to where? What land?
To some people, but again, that's going from ownership to renting. I don't know anybody. I can't buy a house for $20,000. Can you buy a house for $20,000?
No. All right. HPE. Let's get to the next one. They're showing you this is not your rest. Let's get to another one with the Jimmy Dore show about data centers again. God damn, I'm sick and tired of these damn ads.
They canceled it!
Say what?
They canceled it!
So, they're putting up these data centers. We were talking about this with Whitney Webb, and she, there's a lot of horror surrounding them. They use up all the water in the area. It drives up everybody's electricity, all kinds of bad things. So they tried to stop it. And there was one there proposed. This is from Wall Street Apes. This is literally insane. So many people showed up to oppose a $6 billion data center in Missouri that they had to use bleachers. The whole crowd yells and chants they don't want the data center. Wealthiest City Council voted to approve the data center anyway, right in their freaking faces. Wow. Here it is. Let's watch a little bit. Here's the Wealthiest Council approves a $6 billion data center plan despite public pushback.
Bill number 4876.
And there's some angry Edomites. They should be like, hang them high. Hang them high. Oh, it's like, they vote them out. Well, I know. I'll just say hang them high, like they dare to hang somebody or something. What the fuck? I'm like, God damn, how many ads are there gonna be? I mean, they've been showing more ads on this phone while I've been recording, more than I could. When I'm doing a recording on the computer, I don't get this many ads.
So while we're there.
This is some fucking long ass ads. Let me skip this shit. Just go back to the video.
They canceled it!
So CRG, the data center arm of area developer Clayco, hopes to build the data center on roughly 360 acres north of Highway 67, and they're all chanting vote them out. Okay. And they proved it anyway, right in their face. They don't care. Look how unreasonable these people are about having their land, water, and private information and power stolen from them. How unreasonable.
Now, I don't understand how come these people ain't damn, like I said, hang them high. They should be hanging their own people, lynching their ass. A lynching is, yeah. They should be doing that. But hey, man. Whatever. And that will be a result of the sedition among men and invading one. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Except these fat ass Americans ain't doing shit about it yet.
Here's another one. This is the noise. This is the noise coming from the hyperscale data center in Dowagiac, Michigan. Residents who live nearby say they can no longer open the windows in their homes because of the noise and are very worried about their property values. The data center. So let's listen. One resident says the noise has made him unable to open his windows in the summer and is worried about what it will do to his property values. The company Hyperscale Data is planning to expand.
In the summertime, like I said, we like to have our windows open, and it's hard to when you're listening to that all the time. Yeah, I worry about that, the property values, because
Esau getting plagued, the low-level devil getting plagued by his own damn people. Shit. I can't say he's a Trump supporter. And it don't fucking matter anyway. I wasn't gonna say he voted. He got what he voted for. Man, fuck all this dumb shit. Hell, hey, y'all put y'all faith in these motherfuckers, and look, yeah, they fucking you over. Your own people.
who's going to want to, if we want to resell the house, who's going to want to buy the house with that noise? No one's going to want to buy it.
No, don't worry. All that shit gonna be destroyed anyway when the nukes come on America, raining down on America.
They'll be like, no, we ain't moving there. I mean, you know, and we liked it here. We've been here since 09, and we loved it here. But now, I don't know. It's not the quiet country city living that we've been used to.
Has it done anything good for the city, do you think? Having that here?
If it has, I don't know where. I couldn't tell you where.
Yo, I had to turn the volume down. That shit loud as hell.
All I know is I don't even know for sure. You know, they they painted it at one time and then they changed it up and they did that. They put the screens up there and they just make a noise of it. There's just too much noise.
Can you imagine living next door to that? Can you imagine that? You got a house, all of a sudden they do that to your neighborhood? I guess you don't have to imagine it. It happened.
Welcome to the AJZ. Immigration arrests
Fuck,
in Georgia
man.
nearly quadrupled this year.
We just found your next favorite date night spot.
Where's my Old Spice? My cologne-infused Old Spice.
DJ.
I know these.
guess you don't have to-
I know these niggas know I'm doing a recording, doing a lesson because I'm playing. If I wasn't doing a lesson or video, I'm just playing a regular video. I'm not recording. I wouldn't get this many ads. But anyway,
Imagine it. It happened.
That makes me sick.
Here is a massive 18 million square foot data center is being planned north of Amarillo, Texas, along with a nuclear power plant to power it. Cotton Farmer says the Texas Panhandle is the largest U.S. cotton producing region and water needs of the data center is going to wipe out the cotton industry. Many residents in the area rely on well water, to which will be also likely wiped out. The initial agreement with the city of Amarillo supplies 2.5 million gallons per day from municipal sources under a 20-year contract. They can use 912.5 million gallons of water per year.
damn.
That's a billion gallons of water per year. This will be devastating to the people who live there and rely on the water. No kidding. Well, maybe if they use the Flint, Michigan water, it will poison the company and it'll drop dead. How about that? There's a Cotton Farmer.
Remember in the Texas Panhandle, you might want to pay attention to this one. I don't know how many of y'all have heard about Project Matador. And if you have, I don't know how many of you heard all of it. Because quite frankly, I've heard enough that it scares the shit out of me. For those that don't know what Project Matador is, it is an 18 million square foot data center planned to be built north of Amarillo, Texas. Now, the problem that I have with this place, and the reason it scares me, is the cooling. Because it's not just cooling the data center itself, it's also the cooling for the nuclear power plants they're planning on building to power this place. Now, the cooling for that area is going to have to come from one of two places, and both of them are underground. It's either going to come from the Ogallala Aquifer or the Santa.
Yeah, they gonna need water out the ground, and that's gonna. Well, we got to get the fuck out of here. Esau's a fucking nigger, man. He been fucking his own people up, bro. To who will he be good to? Evil to himself. To whom do he be good? But that ain't the right scripture to read. Well, yeah, I don't know. I can tell you, man. Everything's fucked up, man. Everything is fucked up. All they cared about is their fucking data centers and shit, and not realizing what the hell they doing to the environment. They don't concern. These niggas' desire is making people's lives live in hell, and there's like heaven. They gonna spy on you and give you microchips and shit. Damn, these are niggers.
Either way,
I can't find the words. You know, I'm just so tired of this shit.
A lot of water to the south of that power plant on the southern end of the Panhandle. For those that don't realize, the Panhandle region of Texas is the largest cotton-producing region in the United States. You want a quick way to put an end to that? Dry up the well water. Because there's a lot of us that rely on those to grow what we do. The Panhandle region, with irrigation, we can grow between 2 and 4 bale cotton, depending on how good your wells are and where you're at, how good your soil is. You dry up those wells, we're going to go from that 2 to 4 bale region, which is about 1,000 to 2,000 pounds, down to about a half a bale acre, which is about 250 pounds per acre. You do away with irrigation for us, and we can't grow what we grow. It's also going to hurt the people that live in the rural areas that rely on well water for their homes. People that live out here in the country, you dry their wells up, and they don't have a choice. They either have to haul water in or they have to move, period. Now, this place claims they're not going to use a whole lot of water. They claim that, oh, well.
Nah, they full of shit. Y'all niggas fuck. Everybody's fucked. And that's why we got to get the hell out of here.
It's going to be a closed-loop system. We're just going to get a little bit of water out to start with, and then we won't need any more. They're going to use cooling ponds, and I've read through all their proposed plans. Well, those cooling ponds, what they don't understand is West Texas is also very hot, and a lot of water gets lost due to the evaporation, which is why a lot of guys have done away with pivots and gone to subsurface drip irrigation to try to mitigate evaporation loss. Well, when the water evaporates out of their pond, they're going to have to refill it. They don't have a choice, which is going to drain more water out of the aquifer. I don't know how well our politicians are paying attention to what's going on with that and all the other data centers around the area. There's several. There's one being built about 5 miles away from where I'm standing right now. I don't know how well they're paying attention to these data centers and just exactly what's going on. But if they would listen to the people of Texas, especially the people of rural Texas who are affected by what these guys are doing, they would understand that we don't want these things. We don't need them. We don't want them. They could be built in different places where they're not going to affect agriculture. Now, our state lawmakers, I don't know if they're going to do anything to put a stop to this or try to pull the reins back on it and say, hey, hold on, let's investigate this a little more.
Oh, man.
I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if the guys in Washington...
No, they ain't going to do shit. They ain't going to do a damn thing. And this is the world we're living in. Where the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. Yep. Well, hey, let me get to that and I'm going to close out. Because, I've been in this for about an hour and 10 minutes. Didn't know I was going to be on this phone this long doing the recording. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. The people are mourning. No food, no water, no electricity. Damn near no air. Shit, yeah, no air. Hardly, because the air we breathing is toxic. Everything's jacked up. And they want you to have a chip inside your ass, because that's what it's ultimately leading down to. Man, we need Yahweh Shema Shah to get us away from this devil. Get us, oh man, it's going to get crazy. I mean, I like to see the downfall of my enemies right now going through some shit. Like these low-level devil Edomites. But I really want to see the top dogs go down too. But right now, we got to experience some suffering as well too with these all these other heathen nations, these low-level devils. And yeah. So best thing you need to do is seek the Lord and pray the Lord give you the strength to endure. Not to make it an easy thing that we ride on a freaking cloud and feeling all nice and flushed and you can just no, it ain't gonna be no time to relax. It's gonna be a time to feel uncomfortable. Cause it's about to get really uncomfortable in this bitch. And it's not just in America, but I'm doing videos about what's going on in America. But it's gonna be all over the world. So the best thing you need to do is seek Yahweh Shema Shah by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust on Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.